Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. This is the show called Beneath the Table, starring myself, Matthew, and my good friend Jacob. Thank you, Jacob.
You're welcome.
And our invisibly friend Tyler, who's not here today, but he will join us on future episodes. So I sent out to both of them a message today talking about let's talk about old cartoon shows when we were growing up, and this is late '90s, early 2000s shows, basically.
Which the early 2000s, like now that I think about it, feels like such a long time ago.
Well, it's 18 years ago, basically.
Yeah, for us. Well, like the weird thing is, like with the 90s, like I don't remember too much because I was born in '96, so I'm not really a '90s kid. I'm an early 2000s kid.
I remember '98.
I remember '99 and 2000, like around that area. But like, I remember cartoons from first grade onward. I don't remember kindergarten very much, but I do remember first grade on the cartoons I used to watch all the time.
Okay, let's talk about the cartoons then. Which network did you watch? Because we had Nickelodeon,
dude.
Cartoon Network, Disney XD, Jetix.
See, I watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon both. I didn't really care for Disney all that much. That was my little sister's thing.
Some decent shows.
Back then, yeah, they had some good cartoons. Well,
they even do a spin-off cartoons for movies.
Yeah. But no, I was a Cartoon Network junkie. Like all the shows I used to watch when I was a kid were mainly Cartoon Network. That was the channel for me.
What shows did you watch?
Well, my favorite cartoon ever, like of all time, is Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like that will always be my favorite.
Let's give a brief synopsis of some of these shows, just in case some people don't know.
Okay,
what they are.
so if you've never seen Ed, Edd n Eddy like an idiot, so
But
Ed, Edd
anyways.
n Eddy was about these three guys named Ed, Edd n Eddy, and they lived in a cul-de-sac. That's literally the show. It's weird. These three guys live in a cul-de-sac, and Eddie, who is kind of like the brains of the three, he would always try to make different scams to have the other kids in the neighborhood give them quarters.
Basically, a con man.
Yeah, he was pretty much just a young con man, but like he would everything would be only a quarter. Like everything they would do would be 25 cents. Like we're gonna take a picture of you for 25 cents, and like what they're actually doing is drawing a picture of them.
Yeah.
Like after the fake camera takes a picture and stuff like that. And
Which isn't a bad.
they just wanted to get jawbreakers. That was the whole thing. They had the jawbreakers were almost as big as they were. Like Ed, Edd n Eddy was awesome, and I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. Like, and I still watch it. I still like get in the mood. I'm just like I gotta watch Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Yeah.
It always puts me in a good mood.
Well, it shows you how much it influenced all generations because while I'm on campus studying for tests during finals week, in our library they play old Cartoon Network shows, and like, I'm sitting in the library, and all of a sudden I hear Ed and Eddy theme song going on. It's like, what the crap is going on?
Oh, the whistle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Ed, Edd n Eddy so much.
I mean, talking about Cartoon Network, we can fast forward to maybe I think 2005. I think
He was around that. No, was it
was-
earlier than that?
The show I'm going to talk about is the Ben 10 franchise. It's not the show. I'm talking about the whole encompassing series they have that's going on. Because when I think I was 10, so it had to be like
You were right. 2005 was the original
2005.
series.
Boom. No, Ben 10 was an amazing, I feel like, cartoon for its time because it's like it gave you the perfect like toys to sell for kids. Also, the storylines are awesome. So basically, it's about this 10-year-old boy named Ben who goes camping with his grandfather and cousin, and the meteor falls, and it's actually a space pod with an alien watch that lets you transform into like 10 different aliens at the time, and it was amazing. And so the first series is about him traveling across the United States, battling aliens with his grandfather and cousin. How awesome would that be as a kid?
That'd be awesome. Well, no, like I remember.
Also,
I wanted the Omnitrix toys so
exactly
bad.
perfect marketing for them because like, oh, it's a watch. What's more gimmicky than a watch to sell it to a kid?
So I had a friend of mine who, when I was in 6th grade, who got the Omnitrix for the first time.
Oh yeah.
When the show was like at its peak, the original series.
Probably season 2. Then.
And dude, I'm not even joking. Well, actually, no, it wasn't 6th grade. I want to say it was like 4th grade or something.
How old are we? Yeah.
Whatever
that makes
year
sense.
2005, it was like
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was somewhere around that time. Whenever the show was like getting popular,
That'd be our 4th grade year.
and he had the Omnitrix, and he brought it to school with him,
That
and
could have been popular.
and he was just like, check this out, and he'd like and stuff like that. Like he was the coolest kid in the world. It was like, I look back on it now, I'm like, that is so cringy. It's like Heelys when those were big. It's just kind of like, check out my Heelys, man.
No, I feel like I still think they're kind of cool. It's a little bulky in my opinion, but you can't make it like a cartoon toy very streamlined looking in my opinion. But I feel like that's what drives cartoons nowadays is merchandise. They don't make good shows that naturally have good merchandising quality to it. I feel like. What else did we watch?
Like I said, I was just a Cartoon Network junkie. I watched like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Kids Next Door.
Grim Adventures of Billy. I haven't seen that in so long.
I missed that show.
It was really good.
Like which came first? Was it that or Evil Con Carne? Do you remember that one?
Which one is that about?
Evil Con Carne was about the I don't remember the bear's name.
Oh, okay.
The bear that had a brain whose name was Evil Con Carne.
That came first, I believe.
Did that come first?
Because they had like a mini episode with Grim and Billy.
Well, it was made by the same people.
Yeah, I feel like that came first because they had like a mini like pilot episode for them within that show somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I remember the pilot episode of Billy and Mandy. Well, again, for those who've never seen it, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, basically there's these kids named Billy and Mandy who struck a deal with the Grim Reaper, who is Jamaican for some reason.
Oh yeah,
they struck a deal with the Grim Reaper.
No, they beat him in a game of checkers with chess to be their best friend forever.
Yeah, he had to be their best friend forever. But he originally came for their hamster.
Oh yeah.
And they said they didn't want the he pretty much like the deal was, if I win the game, I take your hamster. And did he take them too? Was that the deal?
Something like that.
I don't remember. Mainly the hamster, but if the kids win, he becomes their best friend forever. And he lost, so he became their best friend. And that show went on for a while. That show went on for a long time.
When I think of it, man, that's kind of a dog show. It's like, oh, let's do the Grim Reaper and about death with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, it got heavy sometimes.
Actually, the theme song was kind of scary in my opinion when I was little.
I love the theme song.
I mean, I like it now, but it's kind of scary.
The video game. I had the video game for Billy and Mandy. That was like, did you never play it?
No, I didn't.
Dude, you have to come play this game. I actually still have it.
They don't make good cartoon video games anymore.
Okay, this game was not. Like, here's the thing. Like,
they don't make cartoon video
there are a lot
games
of there are a lot of cartoon video games that were bad.
Yeah.
But like, there were also like those few that I thought were really good. And the Billy and Mandy fighting game was pretty much like, there's this game for the Dreamcast called Power Stone. It was like this open world, but like it was like a 3D fighter where you could run all the way around the arena.
That sounds cool.
And it's really, really good. It's really fun.
This kind of brings me to one of my next shows is the Pokemon / Digimon kind of concept.
Yeah.
Granted, Pokemon came first before the anime series of it, but who did not love the original Pokemon series?
I actually put that one on my list too, because that was one of the shows from first grade I remember watching like daily. I'd come home from school and watch it until. Because they would have marathons a lot.
Oh yeah, they used to play Pokemon like consecutive order. But also, I'm not sure because I don't hang out with a bunch of elementary school kids because that would be really weird. Or middle school kids. Well, sometimes I kind of help out with middle schools. But do kids still collect Pokemon cards and like actually play the game? Because
they still sell a lot of Pokemon
I know they
cards.
Still sell
they still sell like the game the game mats and stuff like that. Like I've seen those in stores. Yeah.
No, but because like. Back in the day, like, and then when she was like, guys, check out my new Charizard card. It's like, oh man, that's pretty cool, man. And that's literally how we talked back then. But like, that was a good show because I really liked it. Granted, I was always confused by the game and the show because like, why is my character named Red when the main character was named Ash? And it's like completely two different things.
Yeah. Kids. I remember.
Also, Digimon competed with Pokemon.
Well, Digimon, like, I don't remember much about Digimon. I remember the theme song, like everybody does, but like, I don't remember much about the show. But everyone, like, there's a lot of people who tell me like Digimon story wise is like 10 times better.
Oh yeah, Digimon storyline is great because their character development it's so good because they had like almost because it was like in the original series there was like I think there was 7 kids and like each and then like in each episode even when they were in a group together they had like episodes centered around each character's growth, and then it even worked out better when they got separated in the show, and it's like so they all had to overcome struggles of their own selves.
Yeah.
So Digimon was a fantastic show because who didn't want to have a talking digital monster that freaking destroyed things for you.
Yeah, it was cool. No, we're on the topic of like the 4Kids anime and stuff like that, like shows they had when I was a kid. Sonic X.
Gotta go faster.
That show is bad. That show is bad.
No, it
But-
had some good moments in it too.
Okay, I'm gonna.
No,
Chris Thorndike.
No. If Chris from Sonic X was not in Sonic X, the show would be awesome in my opinion.
Okay, with Sonic X, like when I was a kid, I used to absolutely adore that show, and I
did too.
Well, I mean, I've always been a Sonic fan. It has its ups and downs, but I've always been a Sonic fan. But like, and I just hate having to defend it. But like with Sonic X, like when I was a kid, that was a show that I remember watching whenever I still had Comcast on demand. I would be like, are they going to put another Sonic X episode on here? And I would watch that episode 1,000 times. I don't know why I did, but I would like memorize it.
I would like the theme song for Sonic X.
Well, everybody did.
Sonic has good music in general. Let's just put that
most
out there.
most of the time. But like, I don't know what it was about Sonic X that I liked so much. Because like when I grew up, me and my friend Jacob, like in probably about like 7th or 8th grade, we were like, let's watch back through Sonic X again, because we both
It doesn't hold up sometimes.
We're both big Sonic fans, so we watch it and it was like, dude, this reeks of early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man, and stuff like that. Like it is downright horrible.
You know it's a good cartoon
at some points.
when you watch it as a kid and you think it's amazing, and you can go back as an adult and watch again.
Mm-hmm.
If it's still amazing, that's a good cartoon. Some shows don't hold up to
No.
what they are. I feel like kind of like a lot of the old Disney shows. I feel like some of them they were good for for the time, but now they're just kind of cringy.
American Dragon Jake Long.
Yeah, like I liked that show when I was a kid, but I went back and watched a couple episodes. Like, it's okay. It's not the greatest still, in my opinion. Also, they changed like animation styles halfway through the show.
And it looks horrible.
It's like,
I
I'm so
exactly.
confused.
It
'Cause,
doesn't.
like,
It
he was,
doesn't
like,
look the same.
In like the first half of the series, he was like kind of buff looking as a dragon, and then halfway through the show, he got skinny. For
What
some
was
reason.
up with the early 2000s and everybody looking like they were made of spikes? Like the way they did the animation style, it was really spiky.
Like, you mean like the facial features or the hair in general?
Pretty much, I guess their hair.
I don't know. I guess it's easier.
I guess
draw.
look, I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh now.
No, that's just a different topic. That's anime almost.
That's
and,
rough.
Like, and they have like a bunch of like ridiculous hair.
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh was rough with the hair, man.
But I liked Yu-Gi-Oh when I was little.
Well, I mean, I did too.
4 kids, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. You know, this is kind of on par with what we're talking about, but it's not on the network.
What?
I actually probably watched this more than any other cartoon. Now that I think about it, Homestar Runner.
But that's a web series though.
Yeah, but it's still a cartoon that I watched when I was a kid. Because Homestar Runner's been around since the 90s.
I know it's been around, but I don't know. I feel like that's more of a webisode that we should talk about another day.
Sure, I don't know. I always
I feel like because it has a cult following. I know that, and like a bunch of other things, and like I feel like other things will fit in that category that we can make a whole another
Probably
episode
so.
about. Shoot, I just had a fantastic idea of talking about an obscure TV show. For those around our age and maybe a little older, when Fox had their own like cartoon TV shows.
Foxbox.
Yeah, Foxbox, which had like Digimon in it, and in that lineup, and like the X-Men.
Yeah, Sonic X was on there too.
Sonic X on it, but they had like the X-Men animated series, Spider-Man the animated series. But
Wasn't there another one called Jetix? It's Disney
Jetix.
It's Disney XD now,
Yeah,
but it used to be Jetix.
I'll get to Jetix in a second. But talking about a show that came on the Foxbox was Big Guy and Rusty. Now
you
I
showed me that.
I showed you that a couple months ago. Okay, so this is how the premise goes. It's about a giant robot named Big Guy, but it's not an actual robot. There's a guy inside driving it, but they don't tell the public because they want the American public to think we've made a robot that's sentient and can defend America or something. And every time he fights, he has these amazing one-liners that are so patriotic.
Surprise.
Well, that's not really patriotic.
No, but
he's
that's the one that gets me every time.
No,
I
like
don't know
the
why.
end of the first episode, he has a sidekick named Rusty, who's a boy robot, and like his bottom half of his legs come off, and so Big Guy lost his arm because of acid. So he says, "Thank God for Henry Ford," and then standardized parts, and like puts him on his arm and like fires him as a gun. So, how much American can you be in that?
Oh, it's great. No, you show me that episode, and I loved it.
Oh, it's great. We need to watch more of that.
There's another obscure show.
Talking about Robot Monkey Force on Jetix.
Not that, dude. Super Robot Monkey Force Go. Is that what it is?
Yes. That Jetix has some good shows.
Dude,
too,
I don't remember that one. I don't remember watching it, but I remember it. Like there was that one. Whatever happened to Robot Jones? Like
the 90s had a lot of robot shows.
dude, whatever happened to Robot Jones is like the one show where I'm like, do you remember that? And everyone just goes, no.
I do.
Like you did, Cassie did, and no one else has. Like everyone else I know is just kind of like, what?
It's one of those weird Cartoon Network early morning Saturday shows that came on.
It looked like it was drawn in a crayon book.
Also, I think it came on late on Friday nights as well.
Book.
Back in the day.
Yeah, when Cartoon Network had the Cartoon Fridays.
Gosh, I miss
you
those
remember
days.
that crap? Dude, I remember
days.
being so excited on Friday because I would go home and they would have new episodes of all my shows I watched.
Do CW and 4Kids have like Saturday morning cartoons still, or is that
I don't
gone?
know. I don't know.
I don't watch cartoons in the morning because I sleep till like noon.
I don't watch TV anymore. Like I always.
I hope they
I
do.
illegally stream all the cartoons I watch.
I hope they still have those Saturday morning blocks because I feel like it's an essential part of growing up. It's
Now,
like waking up Saturday morning watching cartoons.
My little cousin came in town recently, and he was watching TV. He was watching Cartoon Network, and I don't know. I had a wave of nostalgia hit me because they started playing like all the toy commercials and stuff, and I was like, "Holy crap! I forgot about all this."
I know. I feel like toy commercials gone downhill.
I just don't watch TV anymore, so I forgot that like.
Every
about
other
all the
commercial was about
every
toys.
every other toy commercial was like the new Nerf gun and everything was loud, and so like
I feel like
that or just some Polly Pocket crap or something like that, like stuff I didn't care about either. But I just remember watching all those.
Talking about old toy commercials. I remember a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy commercials.
Dude,
those were pretty cool.
dude, I loved. Okay, so I'm a hyper fan of things like Ninja Turtles and Transformers. I love Transformers.
2000 Ninja Turtles was the best, I think.
Dude,
although the new one's pretty good.
I used to think that, and then like I don't know what it is about the new one that I like so much, but
it's because it's
I love
remnants
it.
of the 1989/90.
There's remnants of both.
Yeah, they have like they kind of merged the two because it's not as edgy as 2000, but it's just as kind of funny as the.
I love what they did with like it's the best thing they ever did.
Raph
was well, I hate 2000's Raph.
Why? Because he's so edgy.
It's for those who it's just Shadow the Hedgehog, man. it's horrible. He's not a bad character. It's just the one thing I didn't like about that show is that I feel like they were just tailored to their personality traits and then nothing else.
But it had amazing fight sequences.
It did.
And the storylines were great.
And Shredder was incredible. I love how they did Shredder in that show.
Yeah, I really miss being a child now.
Yeah, no kidding. No, okay. One thing I remember too is
Sorry, there's a lot of pauses. We're reading off a list right now.
Yeah, one thing I do remember is sneaking behind my parents' back to watch Adult Swim.
I watched that because I lost cable when I was kind of young, and so I went to my grandmother's house on Friday nights and I watched. Sometimes I watch Adult Swim, but none of the shows really appeal to me.
The only way I found out that I couldn't watch it is because I was watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force one time. My mom walked in and she was like, "You cannot watch this."
Explain to the audience and me what this is.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about.
I don't know how to explain this show. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is pretty much about these three sentient fast food items living in a house together.
What?
It's okay. So when by the time I hit the age to get what was going on in Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I loved it even more because it's just so ridiculous and weird. Like I'm just into stuff. That's like my kind of humor. I really like surreal, weird stuff. And it's these three guys. It's Frylock, Meatwad, and Master Shake.
Oh gosh.
Who themselves is Meatwad is a wad of meat.
I just got the names.
Who I think is autistic.
Oh my goodness.
That's a horrible thing to say, but
it's Adult Swim, so
yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Master Shake is literally a living milkshake, and he's a prick. He has no remorse for any of the horrible things he does, and he does horrible things all the time. And then Frylock, who is he's just a floating box of fries, and
is he
he's
a
like
warlock too?
no, well no, well kind of. They all have like it's been a minute since I've seen it. I know Frylock had powers and like he was a genius. basically he's like super smart and he's got like a really good conscience and stuff like that. But they'd always fight weird stuff like giant brains and just stuff that didn't matter. The one episode that I remember the most is the one where they had the Master Shake gets a Boost Mobile like sponsorship,
Oh my goodness.
and it's like it's almost racist. Like the jokes they make in there, like
Wow.
he's like friends with like a giant Boost Mobile phone, and his whole thing is he just goes, "Where you at, dog?"
Oh my. Is that
Oh,
is that what
dude.
they're associated with?
I don't know. I just know most Boost Mobiles you'll find in like the ghetto
Oh.
and stuff like that. I lived in West Nashville when I was little, and I lived in the bad part of West Nashville, which was, again, is probably nothing compared to other ghettos, but like that was a rough place. Like I'd be walking across the street to go to school, and I'd hear gunshots and stuff like that. Like it was not safe. But no, yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force was really weird. That and Space Ghost Coast to Coast were the two
That's a
shows
weird
that-
show.
Well, the thing is, Space Ghost was actually like.
What Space Ghost was a weird cartoon, wasn't it? And then
Well,
they-
Space Ghost was a cartoon from like the 40s, something like that. So it was old, like
Yeah, and
60s are like the latest.
Didn't Space Ghost Coast to Coast? Didn't that sort of like they took a bunch of like clips from the original show and kind of like ad-lib things in?
They pretty much just like yeah, that's essentially what they did. They just took all the characters from Space Ghost and like threw them in, and we're like, we're gonna make them talk show. We're gonna make him a talk show host.
Oh god.
It didn't make any sense.
Adult Swim, guys.
They did that in Harvey Birdman, which somehow they got the rights to all these Hanna-Barbera characters, and they let them use them in the show.
Probably because Cartoon Network owns part of Hanna.
That's a good point. Yeah, but yeah, that show was weird. Those shows were both weird, but I love them anyway.
Hanna Barbera put out some great old cartoons. Like Scooby Doo is one of my favorites. They did.
Oh well, yeah, that show's become super oversaturated though. I feel like Scooby Doo needs to stop.
The new to get a little off topic, and I'll put this back on in a second. It's like the new one they did. I don't like it. It seems weird for what it was. But anyways, talking about a good cartoon was Jackie Chan Adventures. That was a fantastic.
That
show.
was a really good show. Like
think
surprisingly good.
It lasted 5 to 4 seasons, I believe, because like each season focused on like a different type of magical artifact they were like chasing after. It was fantastic because they actually had they had Jackie Chan, the actor, voice himself basically.
Yeah.
He's like this freaking ancient like archaeologist. He's basically an Asian Indiana Jones. That's what he is basically, and that's a fantastic thing to go up with because one, I'm Asian, and you don't see many Asian lead shows in general.
Not anymore, yeah.
It's fantastic to see that, and also he had a very good American accent, and he doesn't really sound good. He doesn't really have that. Like if you hear him talk now, you don't really hear that American.
Yeah.
So he must have really like enunciated well for the show.
No, I remember. Yeah, I got like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
That's a good show. Although it had some weird episodes in it at times.
Okay, everyone's always like, "Oh man, Cheese." Cheese is one of
I
the
don't like
worst
Cheese.
characters in
I don't
cartoon
either.
history to me. I absolutely despise
Well,
Cheese.
his character just didn't make sense to me. Like original, like when they first introduced Cheese in the show. Oh, by the way, Foster's Home is about this orphanage for like imaginary friends who like the person who created them outgrew them. So it's like I want to give these imaginary friends up, and like so basically they're like it's an adoption agency kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, back to the episode when they first introduced Cheese, they make it seem like he's actually like Max, who's like the little boy. He's the main character of the show. Like second imaginary friend next to Blue, which because Blue is like everyone thinks Blue's amazing, but he's actually kind of a sociopath if you think about it.
He's a nutcase, and he's also kind of annoying.
Sometimes,
but-
yeah,
I mean, he could be funny, but a
And
lot
cool,
of the
but
time he's
then
really
it's like-
annoying.
he has a lot. He's not the for Blue for me like the main imaginary character. He's not the most like likable. I feel like because there's so
No.
many other.
My favorite was Wilt.
I like Engordo.
Oh, Eduardo.
Engordo. Yeah, Coco. Oh,
Coco was annoying to me.
I just like it because like it's the ex machina of the show basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I always liked Wilt, and I always liked Mr. Harriman. I don't know why it was that I liked
He's
Mr.
a
Harriman.
giant rabbit.
He was cool.
Will had his own movie basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I hadn't talked
Do you
about.
remember Symbiotic Titan?
I do remember Symbiotic Titan.
Most people don't remember that one either. It's a weird show too.
Yeah, I remember Symbiotic Titan. There's another show I never watched that I remember seeing commercials for all the time called Secret Saturdays.
Oh, that's,
Actually, you know what? I did see
Secret Saturdays was pretty good. They actually had a crossover with the Ben 10 Omniverse.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
remember
same,
that.
So it's like same universe. And like, oh, that's cool.
Code Lyoko.
Oh, I love. Okay, Code Lyoko, fantastic show.
Code Lyoko was great. 4 heads.
Oh yeah, they had giant foreheads.
They had 5 heads. 6 heads even.
They had the French made that show. No, yeah, it was a French show.
No, the French made the Donkey Kong Country cartoon.
It's not. Oh gosh. No, Code Lyoko was a good show. It's produced by French people because they did a live action like in 2014, I believe, and it was like all in French. It was like I was kind of upset by that because it's like I wanted to see like live action because they still had like the cartoon aspect of it because they went into the virtual world and like they couldn't do a virtual world with real people.
Can we talk about video game tie-in cartoons for a minute?
Like
like
the Super Mario show.
It's the Mario Brothers implements the game. Found a secret while working on the dream.
I actually didn't watch that.
That was dude. Okay, so when I was little, I was probably about 8 years old, and one Christmas, I saw they had DVDs for the Super Mario Brothers Super Show at like Target or something.
Yeah.
And I wanted it, and so Mom and Dad actually. I mean, I got more stuff for Christmas. They was just like, "Here's all you're getting for Christmas," but like it was.
When DVDs were expensive.
2 DVDs, man, and I wore those DVDs out.
Was it good?
I loved it when I was a kid.
But
The weird thing was,
now?
okay, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. I mean, everybody knows the Super Mario Brothers show because of the Mama Luigi thing.
Actually,
Do you not remember that meme?
I
It was
don't.
so stupid. Well, I mean, people still do that, but it was an episode of the Super Mario World cartoon. They had a cartoon for every like Mario Brothers game except for the first one, essentially.
I can believe that.
Which is crazy to me. Like they had one for the second one and the third one, which is kind of tied into each other, and they had one for Mario World. And in the Super Mario World one, there's an episode where Luigi's telling a story of how he met the main Yoshi that's in the show with him, and the name of the episode was Mama Luigi, and that was like a huge meme for some reason. Where there's just a scene from it where Luigi just goes, "Mama Luigi," and like everyone used that in like 1,000 things.
Quick side note, I just want to put this out there. I watch Game Theory and they do a live stream. It is confirmed that in Super Mario World, when you get Yoshi and you ride him, it was originally out there that when you like hit him, when you press the button to like make his tongue go out,
Yeah.
he was actually hitting Yoshi to do that. That's actually confirmed by Nintendo.
Well, yeah, I feel like you could see that in the older games where he's just slugging Yoshi in the back of
you
the
don't think
head.
about it, but he just smashes him.
Yeah, it's horrible.
No, talking about another Nintendo tied-in video game is Legend of Zelda.
That is that's one of the worst cartoons I've ever seen. But I love it. I love it for
It's
that.
so meme-ish, though.
Dude, it's so charming. Like, it's so ridiculous that it's great.
It makes, like, you think, when you play the games, you think, man, Link's a pretty stand-up guy. And then when you see him in the cartoon,
He's a prick in the cartoon, man.
He's a jerk, man.
Dude, he's horrible. And, like, they should never let him talk. That's
why he doesn't talk.
They proved multiple times that he has, like, the CDI games and that show. That show is so bad.
He shouldn't talk ever.
The other old cartoons, like The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I actually think is great.
What about Sonic Underground? That was not...
Oh, yeah, Sonic Underground is the greatest show of all time, let me tell
Is
you.
it?
No, it's horrible. It's an absolute
I was
nightmare.
gonna say.
Dude, the singing portions of that show, dude. I would watch a compilation of just the singing portions and
What's
lose
with
my mind.
Nintendo shows and, like, singing? Because Donkey Kong Country had a lot of singing.
Dude, okay, some of the music moments in that show were incredible,
Oh,
though.
yeah, don't get me wrong, the music
Dude,
moments are good. But
Eddie-
the show itself
Eddie
is
Let
like,
Me Go Back to My Home. Dude, I listened to that for like 5 days. Like when I found that again, I was like, this is great. But no, like, I actually had a VHS of the Donkey Kong Country movie.
What channels did these shows come on?
I don't remember.
'Cause
Well,
I
the
don't
thing is,
remember
the
any of
reason
them.
why I remember. Okay, so I didn't see the Super Mario Brothers show until like way after it was already
Yeah.
gone.
I think most of it.
And so
felt
neither
like
did I
that.
see the Sonic shows, but I did see the Donkey Kong Country cartoon pretty early because Mom and Dad got me a VHS of the Kingdom of the Crystal Coconut. I think was the name of the movie,
Uh-huh.
and I used to watch that a lot.
I feel like that show would came on the Fox lineup because
Probably
the
something like that.
animation. This feels like it would.
Yeah, there was that. I always wanted there to be a Star Fox cartoon. I love Star Fox, and they
That
had
would have been a cool show. if
dude.
they could
Star
do
Fox
it
would have been
right.
awesome. Like that show was made to have a cartoon, but like they had like an
I don't know if they
animated
would've
sequence for the
executed
new
right.
one. But I'm digressing. But I'm trying to remember if there was other like video game. I remember Tack and the Power of Juju had a show in the early 2000s.
It still plays sometimes on Nicktoons, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay.
I didn't wa- I
played
watched
the
it.
first game. It wasn't.
The games
it
are
was weird.
mediocre.
Yeah.
But the show was also mediocre.
Oh, what's an
Back at the Barnyard was another show I used to watch when I
That-
was a kid.
came out? Yeah, that time period. There was a lot of like spin-off movies to cartoons,
Yeah, it was
Which-
weird.
and they weren't the best cartoons. I guess
Back at the Barnyard was bad,
I was not a fan of the movie either.
but I watched it all the time anyway.
Well, that was a Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon did that a lot for shows.
Nickelodeon had a lot of movies that never got shows, so.
Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents was a good show when I was growing up.
Oh, I still love Fairly Odd Parents.
I'm not a fan of it anymore. Of the new ones, I still like the old ones. So don't get me wrong. The new ones, I haven't seen much of the new ones because they don't appeal to me.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm not. I kind of have an unpopular opinion here. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Neutron.
I like Jimmy Neutron. I especially liked it when he got pants. I didn't like him when he was wearing shorts in the movie.
Oh,
It just-
yeah, I
it didn't
forgot
look,
about
it,
that.
It didn't look right because look
Yeah.
at his legs. No, that's not cool.
I love how Sheen was like the best character in
He
the
was.
show,
He still
and
is.
then they made
Then
a
they
show
made
about
a
him that
show
was
for him.
garbage.
Oh,
Planet Sheen was so bad.
I watched like 2 episodes. Like, isn't that supposed to be? Is that like a space call? No, this is
So
weird.
bad.
No, I'm good.
That was rough.
I mean, there's so many cartoons that will like I feel like when I was younger, all the cartoons were a hit, and then as I got older, maybe it's because as you get older, your preferences change.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of cartoons they just don't hit as well as they used to. Like, there's so many more misses than hits on what is good.
Yeah. There's still a lot of good ones
Like,
that are going on right now, but
and I feel like all the good ones they get canceled too early, and because of that, and the reason is they don't sell enough merchandise.
that's probably true.
And because that's what happened to Young Justice, everybody. Because
That was such a good
it was
show.
a good series, 2 seasons. But they had to cancel it because they weren't getting enough revenue from the merchandise and toy lines.
Which is weird.
But I'm so excited because they're bringing it back for season 3.
They are bringing it back?
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
even know
gonna
about
be it's
that.
gonna be online. I think it's going. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Another good show that got canceled too early when I was growing up was Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, that was a
It
good
was
show.
2 seasons. What's 2 seasons?
I'm
of?
very late on that train. I
Dude,
only started
oh.
watching that recently. I love Spider-Man. I don't know why I
Spectacular
didn't want to watch it.
I feel like all the Spider-Man shows except the one in 2000 with Neil Patrick Harris was fantastic.
That's
Because
weird because like Neil Patrick Harris is known.
his voice acting was good for the Spider-Man. It was a weird animation style. It was like a very polygon looking,
like
drawing.
Transformers Beast Wars. Okay,
Beast
Transformers Beast Wars.
No, that was so good though.
That had the worst animation to look at, but dude, that story was incredible.
The
I
storyline's really
love
good.
Transformers Beast Wars.
That
man.
came out in the 90s as well.
Yeah, my dude. Okay, so my dad told me like
How
he
do
would
we-
watch it.
how
Like
do
he
we
would
just-
just watch it because he loved it so much.
How do we just get to Transformers? Transformers is a fantastic show, especially for boys back in the day.
Okay, so I love the '80s Transformers.
Wait, Gen 1 or next?
Gen 1. I
Gen 1?
love Gen 1. I love because it's so cheesy and campy.
I think the first Transformers I remember watching originally was Transformers: Robots in Disguise.
Oh yeah.
That one's actually really campy in a sense because it toned down a lot of things, but they had really cool transformation sequences.
Beast Wars. I remember watching Transformers animated. That was pretty good.
That was good. That came after the first Transformers.
That was a really
movie,
weird. That was a
where
really
they lived
weird
by the
one.
bay and stuff.
Yeah, that was a really weird one.
It was weird because it was they weren't in disguise.
It was weird
much.
when because Tom Kenny and Bill Fagerbach, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't remember. Tom Kenny voiced Bumblebee and Starscream,
Oh yeah.
and Bill voiced Bulkhead. So it was like having SpongeBob and there was pretty much like having SpongeBob and Patrick
yeah.
right there. It was weird.
Also, Transformers Armada. I think that's that's probably my
Armada.
favorite Transformers series to date.
I had the Transformers Armada game that was just called Transformers. That was a great game too.
'Cause Transformers,
From what I remember.
Again, what drives cartoons are toys, and
Well,
Transformers.
that's just a huge toy.
Yeah, and Armada's even better at it because they had you had the big Transformers like Optimus Prime and Megatron to buy, but then they had mini cons that gave them power ups in the shows. So they sold mini con packs of 3, and who didn't want to have a tiny little mini con to play with?
All the toys had extensions to them, and that incentivized kids to be like, I want to get those.
Yeah.
I want to get it all.
When Kmart was still a thing, guys, I used to go to Kmart with my parents.
Kmart is Kmart not around anymore?
They're really crappy, and they will always be crappy if they're still around. No offense to Kmart, but all offense to Kmart.
All offense to Kmart. I want you to be offended.
Because maybe there was a good Kmart out there, just not in the South. But I used to go down to the toy hour and Kmart with my parents and look at the Minicon figures. It's man, I want that Minicon because the cool thing about the Minicons, half of them combine together to make something cool. And as a kid, that was so awesome.
I actually started watching Prime recently.
I heard that was actually really good.
It is really good. I really like it. They had The Rock voicing Cliffjumper in the first episode.
Is he still on the show, or was it a one-off character?
I'm not gonna say. You just have to watch.
Because
it's important. So I can't mention anything.
Oh, I should watch it. It's on my to watch list actually.
Yeah. Well, this is probably a good point to cap it off with.
That's up for today. Usually, I feel in the future, guys, I think they're gonna be more around 45 minutes to an hour long episodes. But for our first episode, we'll cut it off short because I don't think you guys want to hear us for this long.
Yeah.
So this is Matthew signing off.
This is Jacob signing off.
And our invisible friend Tyler, who's oddly quiet, signing off as well. Join us next time on Beneath the Table.